Do you know who Flyfish Dan is? Flyfish Dan is one of the YouTubers with a couple of 50,000 followers who thinks that he can cast, and who thought he made a cool move by calling me out and challenging me for a cast off. I wrote him back, right, okay, what do we do? Do we take the double-handed rod too? And what do we do with bonker spay, cool casting, the half spay, the cubic spay, and the wave spay? Do you want to include that in this casting competition? The cast off you are challenging me to? Or do we leave that out? And guess what he answered? Oh, me. Please be respectful with the community and don't come across as so arrogant. And no, I don't. I pull out of the challenge. That was after he seen me casting. And Flyfish Dan, my friend, I think we all teach the wrong ways in casting, and I think that it can be done much better. Please ask yourself the question, and you know a lot of people and you teach a lot of people, which is great. Bring more people to the sport, that is brilliant, but ask yourself this question: how high is the quitter rate with beginners who start to fly fish and then quit? What would you guess? I would guess the quitter rate is at least 75%. And I think that my teachings, the teachings of the control and control theory, teachings that comes out of science and not out of brew science, are far more applicable and usable and effective to teach casting. I'm 100% convinced that the teachings in casting can be done much better and much more effective. And I also proved to you in the last episode that the whole fly fishing game is not even in control or unaware that there is a science of control even available to this sport. And people like Flyfish Dan, who challenge me first and then immediately pull out of that challenge once they see my casting, also confirm that they only think they can cast, and once they see what I pull off, they, oh no, I don't want to do anything with that. Okay, and I don't care. I don't have to battle with you then, because I have won already due to the fact that you pulled out. And don't be challenging challenges that you can't handle or that you don't want to handle, because I also tend to tell you, Flyfish Dan, I also tell you, my dear friend, we can do better. We can do much better. And we should, because this industry and what we teach doesn't help people. It only helps to make the instructor look good and not the learner. And that is another conceptual mistake that's coming out of the 60s teaching from people like Joe and Wolf and Mel Krieger and Lefty Gray that we're still very adherent to. But once you start questioning these teachings, you'll soon find out that the substance behind it was very meager and not very consistent too. Let me tell you, the things that are really important in this casting game are not the loop. The loop is the result of the process that you want to be able to control. What you need to do is you need to feed the process correctly. And if you're able to feed the process correctly, you will inevitably make good casts and therefore also catch fish. There is a big problem with this casting thing, a mental problem for all casters, and that is so-called casting panic that is in our heads, and that there's nothing we can do about this casting panic, but be aware of it and actively go against that reflex to be too fast with your fly rod with every cast. And the feedback you during the cast when it's happening, and not after that cast has happened with the loop, because that visual feedback from the loop is always too late and can only be corrected with the next cast. What you see when you watch me casting, I'm never in a hectic, yeah? Or I don't look as panicked as Flyfish Dan. Watch Flyfish Dan's casting and compare it with my casting. And you notice and you come back to me with feedback how my casting is different from Flyfish Dan's casting. And I wonder if all the Flyfish Dans out there, if you are just Flyfish scams and also Flyfish cans. That's what I'm wondering. Because how dare you come to me after you challenged me for a cast off and say to me, I am arrogant and bully you. Sportsman thing to do, my dear friend Flyfish Dan, Flyfish Scam Dan, would be to acknowledge, oh boy, I challenged the wrong person. I can't cope with your level of control. Please show me how it's done so I can share it with my followership. Okay? Flyfish Dan? That would have been the sportsman thing to do. And not trying to bully me. I don't let myself being bullied, okay? And I don't give a fuck about a flyfish can. I don't care how many fish you caught. But I care about the sport of fly fishing. And I see that a lot of people struggle casting, and I'm telling you that the quitter rate is 75%. And me, my teachings in FlyQ can reduce that quitter rate about to, I would say, 25%. Are you a conscious caster, an unconscious caster, or a subconscious caster? Did you just hear that lame talk? All you have to do is practice. All you have to do is practice, and then what do? You never practice and you never get it done. That is because you're only told all you have to do is practice. But nobody shows you how to practice control with a fly rod properly. And I have developed a system of understanding knowledge and exercises that will make it incredibly fast to learn and progress with all fly casting, with all spy casting. This industry has no interest in you becoming a better caster, because if you are good, or if you get to a certain level, you don't need new gear all the time. The fly fishing industry is brainwashed. And the reason why the fly fishing industry is brainwashed, and also all casting instructors, me included, huh? Don't take it personal. It's a systematic mistake. And that mistake also comes from the 60s and is called the AFTMA classification line systems. AFTMA. That standard has the problem that it has been made from supercasters but only for supercasters and not for people who learn and who begin to fly fish. And the system is from a time where left-handers were beaten into right-handers, where we thought that the lion is the king of the animals, and where people just were never thinking really through what they did and what they talk to people and how they appear and how they impress on people or impose on them, as I like to say. And that turns the whole teachings into a thing that is only making the teacher look good, but never the student. Because every teacher tells you in casting, you have to form a tight loop, and here you go and practice, and that will take 20 years, or you're in the quitter rate of 75% and you throw the fucking stick in the corner after 2-3 sessions when you can't get it. That's the reality. That is what is happening. And that is because the AFTMA system is designed as if Michael Schumacher would give you the keys to his Ferrari and say, here you go, lad, hit the pedal to the metal, go as fast as you can. And what happens then is the next thing, you shoot that Ferrari on the wall. And that was it. And that is where the high percentage, my guesstimate would be 75% or higher, let me know in the comments what you think about that, is coming from. And that system is also a reason why fly fishing has such an incredible high frustration potential and a reputation of being so hard to learn. Because it's not designed to make you learn. It's designed to buy a new rod with every new line and then a couple of other new lines. And also for people like Fly Fish Dance who enjoy it immensely to pose in front of people and to catch a million fish in front of them and to show them how super of a big, super tight loop instructor they are, and their ability to catch fish is so mighty, and you're just only impressed, and that does help you exactly nothing. All these casting gods, or whatever you think they are, only cook with water, and they have their nose in the middle of the faces. And the brain is washed because the fly fishing industry is brainwashed. And what we need to do in here, we need to start on a clean sheet. We need to zero our perception, and we have to start over and design a new system and think how it's done better and how we can help people not to quit at such a high rate, folks.